welcome to the show.
Hi, welcome to the show. My name is Frank.
That's Frank. I'm Scott. This is Rebootleggers, episode 3, which is 3 more than anybody else has done.
Of the Rebootleggers franchise.
Correct.
Which we own.
Which we are the only ones doing. 100% more than anybody else. And that's a guarantee. We've got more Rebootlegger podcasts than anybody else out there.
All of the podcasts.
Coming off of the critically acclaimed success of, oh boy, hold up.
Oh, our famed reboot of Short Circuit, which we
Super
called...
hot original retail teenagers. Can I really cut it? Tobias.
Yep.
Teens.
Played so huge in India.
Teens times 78 problems.
Yep. The Android market loved it. The 78 concurrent plot lines actually managed to hold their interest.
Yes. The Android market? We've got robots watching? Or are you talking like Android phone users?
Sentient phones, yeah.
Android phone users, okay.
I mean, they don't have bodies yet, but we're working on it.
Oh, so the phones themselves, not just Android users.
Yeah, the phones watch it whether or not there's a person.
Oh, jeez.
And then they just report back. It's all Google now. It's just all Google.
This is an incredible breakthrough in AI?
Yeah.
AI, right? That's the thing?
Yeah, robot watching. So it played pretty big with non-humans. Humans found it very confusing. I mean, when you're watching super hot original teens, the rest of the title, I mean, you are watching a robot.
It's true. A beefy boy robot.
Beefy boy robots. But that's not what we're here for today.
No. Coming hot off of that, we figured we'd jump right out of the 80s for once and hit up that sweet 90s meat.
Materiel.
For, what's on the docket today, Francis?
The docket contains one item, the book series and briefly lived TV series, Animorphs.
Animorphs. This is a book series that I was tangentially aware of. I never read it. I read a book.
Oh.
I read one of them.
Oh, I was deep into it.
I liked looking at the covers where they got those kids with the faces shifting into an animal.
Yup. Kids became animals. Animals became kids. It was a party.
Animals became kids.
Now, are you familiar with the premise of the Animorphs?
I believe we got the overall premise, but why don't you sum it up for us?
All right. So those of us who've heard our first episode might notice some similarities in theme between this and our new Alf show. This show revolves around aliens who come to Earth and want to hurt people. And the aliens help some teen kids solve crimes. Now, let's broaden that a little bit. There are evil aliens conquering the galaxy, and there are good aliens that are trying to stop them. And the good aliens can shapeshift into anything. So, like, they touch a person and they can become a human body. And they're just shapeshifters. And so, the good aliens take it upon themselves to round up some teens.
Teens. Always teens.
And give them the ability, somehow not explained, to transform into animals. Earth animals. There's some rules. There's always rules.
What are the rules?
They have to touch the animal to be able to transform into it.
Okay.
They can only transform for 2 hours. If they stay transformed longer than that, they get permanently stuck as the animal they transformed into. Yeah. Now, this causes some conflict because they go on missions to solve alien crimes where often they have to stretch the limits of those 2 hours.
So like they're going right down to the wire. Like,
yeah,
this
mission will take 1 hour.
I gotta be this squirrel for another 45 minutes, but I've only got 30 minutes left.
Yes.
What do I do?
And there's some like stupid thing like they can't just pop back in and out or whatever. They have to like cool down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something like
There's
that.
like a transformation time?
Yeah.
Interesting. Now here's a question. Do they have to touch the animal every time?
No, they only have to touch the animal initially to like absorb the knowledge of how to transform.
Okay,
And
and
then yeah.
how many transformations can they store at a time?
Oh, it's infinite. You just gotta touch those animals. You just gotta touch them. So
Dang.
what they do is they like break into zoos at night and like touch the tigers and stuff, and they get all ferocious.
Jeez.
So I mean,
Touching
there's some easy animals.
tigers.
Like they can all be dogs, right? But some of the animals end up specialized by like, oh man, like Kevin got super lucky on his Boy Scout trip, and he touched a red-tailed hawk, and now he's
Oh.
got that.
Now wasn't that Tobias?
That was Tobias. Kevin is a name I made up to make it
That's the
seem
other only that's the specific detail that I know about this show is Tobias.
Tobias is a guy.
Tobias is a red-tailed hawk who gets stuck as a red-tailed hawk.
Gets stuck.
And I've heard that was a big emotional moment for the kids.
It was pretty huge.
How did that hit you at the time?
I think it was the first time I really ever experienced loss.
Okay. Wow. Wow.
Um, I think I'm still kind of trying to save Tobias in a way today.
Hmm. I think we
Every
all
bird
are.
that I see is I'm just like,
Maybe that's him.
is that a Tobias?
So what happens when they get stuck? They can never turn back?
Yeah, they can never turn back. They're stuck as that animal, but it's okay because while they're animals, they all also get telepathy.
Oh, so he can still at least talk to them and stuff.
Yeah, he can talk to them.
So it's not just like, hey, I know you're a bird, and I know that you're actually my buddy, but too bad you can't talk. Now, here's a question. I can't imagine that a red-tailed hawk has, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? A
Along,
particularly prolonged lifespan.
yeah.
So, does he inherit those properties, or does he have a human lifespan inside that hawk?
Yeah, they were afraid to touch on it. Now I haven't been keeping up with the series, but I'm looking at the list right now of all the book titles,
Mm-hmm.
and book title 36
Oh my gosh,
is
36.
the title of the book is When We All Send Tobias to Sweet Valhalla because birds only live for a couple years.
Okay, so for a second, I was a little concerned that you were violating our rule of nothing beyond the first paragraph of Wikipedia, but I can see now that you have not.
Yes, it was all a
That
ruse
sounds like that's quite a goofer.
to
And
fool you.
that's quite a wonderful title for a book.
It was a goof.
Now, here, according to this first Wikipedia paragraph, horror, war, dehumanization, sanity, morality, innocence, leadership, freedom, and growing up are the core themes of the series.
That tracks pretty well with what I know.
That is an incredibly diverse group of core themes.
Yeah, they're pretty themed.
Dehumanization, sanity, and morality.
Yeah, I mean you can't go insane and you can't do evil stuff.
Do they ever catch the animal madness?
Do they ever catch the animal madness? I didn't read the books that were with mad cow disease or with like raging gopher syndrome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um
RGS.
yeah, everyone knows about that. They might have covered it, but I've been out of the game for so long.
All right, so for this reboot here, we got to be careful because they've already attempted a media jump. They went from books
They
to
have.
television. And I am 100% into rebooting this as a hey, here's where I think they went wrong. Here's why that failed. They didn't go far enough. You need that three prong. They only did two prongs. We need also the Animorphs movie, theatrical release. And so here's
A
what
feature film saga. That's hot.
But in addition, and not based on books, but sequel to books that we will also release. So and they will be released at the same time. You got book 1, and then book 2 is a TV show. Book 3 is a movie. All of them at the same time. If you don't read that book first, TV show or movie aren't going to make any kind of sense.
Oh yeah, all interconnected. And how about they hop? So like you got to read book 1 to watch movie 1,
Yeah.
but then you have to watch movie 2 to even read book 2.
And then also, some chapters are just movies.
Yeah. Where it's like you turn the page, chapter 3, is a blank page that says, "Please watch minutes 22 to 33
Mm-hmm.
of Animorphs 2."
Where are we at
The
on
blue book.
where are we at on like turning book paper into just screens? Can we do that yet?
I mean, okay, yes. So technically, when a person buys Animorphs, they're basically buying our 3DS very, very large edition device that Omni consumes the Animorphs experience.
Yeah, now we can't call it a 3DS because that's Nintendo.
I I guess.
I mean, the Nintendo is pretty litigious.
What if we call it the
3PS.
well, I mean, so you're gonna be, this is a station with which you sit at the station and you consume Animorphs. And we want it to be a very playful
In your mouth?
experience. So what if we call it the PlayStation Portable?
Okay. That's fine. We'll call it the PlayStation Portable.
Okay.
So, brought to you by the NBCW, of course.
Obviously.
All right. So, here's the other thing I'm thinking. We're 2 for 2 right now on hot teen dramas. I want to stay away from teens in this reboot. So
Old people.
here's what I'm thinking. This is a reboot, but it's also a sequel to the original series. 30 years has gone by. The Animorphs are now grizzled, disgruntled adults.
Yeah, I think 30 years is, I think we got to make it like 60 years later.
Okay.
Like these people are like paper and like glue. They're not well,
Now, okay.
but they're the only ones around to solve this crime.
Do they turn into old animals or do they get to be young in the animal bodies?
I feel like they've still got to be old animals, don't they?
Okay.
I feel like there's no other. I feel like if they turn into young animals, the very first thing anyone's gonna say is, "Why is that tiger young when the man was old?"
When the man was old. How old are we talking, Frank?
I'm thinking minimum 60s. Now there was
Okay.
an age range, so I'm thinking the 60 to 68 range. So still like active, not
They're active seniors. And here's the thing, we'll have one Chuck Norris type where it's like that guy is 68, but he has the
Yeah.
bottom of a 54-year-old. And by bottom, I mean
Yes.
body.
But like both. But there's gonna be one guy, just the one guy, where like when he hit 50, everyone else was like having kids and stuff. When he hit 50, he was like rock climbing and mountain biking, and they all kind of hate him a little bit for like being so fit.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I feel like you're thinking like people in their 20s cuz who's having kids in their 50s? Or did you say grandkids?
Yeah, grandkids
Okay.
is what I definitely said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Everybody's having kids. All right, so we've got that one guy, very active. Everyone else hates him. What's the new threat here?
Yeah, I feel like it can't be the same aliens.
What
Can
was
it?
the old threat? What was those aliens' goals?
Oh,
If I recall from my one book that I read, the evil aliens they're like space slugs.
yeah, the Yeerks. That's what they're called.
Yeerks.
Yo, Yeerk.
What are the good aliens called?
The good aliens. I don't know if you ever learned their race. The guy, that good alien's name is like Axie or something like that.
Just like
I honestly,
Arnold.
because only he shows up. So there's an entire race of the evil brain slug aliens. I should explain the phrase brain slug. You see, the Yeerks are these tiny little slug things, and they're parasites, and they just get all up in the brain parts, and then they control you like a robot.
Mm-hmm.
But
Now,
when they crawl in through your ear,
Oh,
that's the
gross.
standard method of entry.
nobody likes
So
that.
they get all up in your ear hole, and the book goes into surprising detail explaining how they smoosh out around your brain and like fill in all the crevices,
Oh, gross.
and then they like read your mind and like know your memories, and they like can act like you, but they're controlling you.
Now, I remember something about how the kids could tell who was a brain slug by like they could like see past their eyes or something.
Yeah, there was this whole like vague thing about like you can like look in their eyes and be like, you're not my best friend Dave.
You're
Like
Dave
you
Slug.
have like dead soulless alien slug eyes. Those are the eyes of a slug. I don't trust slug eye.
Their
Like
eyes turns into like weird
there was some
stalks.
pretty racist stuff too. They would say like you're a slug man.
Oh, jeez.
Um, they would call people they didn't like slugs. It got really weird.
You know, the
Um,
dehumanization theme.
yeah, they really wanted to like the backs of the books would have advice on how to kill earth slugs, like use salt,
Salt them up.
stomp them with your boots. I think that the original author Kay Applegate probably just had something against slugs.
Yeah, that guy hated, or that lady, whoever.
And there it started to get people would be like, you're a slugger became like a bad word, like you're a slugger
Oh, jeez.
because you're like a slug and you're gross and you're slimy.
Right. Here's a question, though. I remember book one, the only book that I read. The alien who shows up at the beginning, he died when he gave them all their powers. So is there another alien who shows up? Or did he not die? Am I misremembering?
I don't think he dies because I feel like he's their battle commander.
I'm 99% sure he died in that first book. It was like a Green
Oh,
Lantern
you know what?
situation.
The guy that gives them the powers dies, and then his like friend shows up.
Is his friend a jerk at first? Is he like, you don't deserve these powers?
Yeah, but it's like his like friend shows up, and they're like, "Oh, thank God! Like you brought the army to fight the slugs." And he was like, "No, it's just me. But how about I deputize you guys, you teens? How about I deputize you teens to fight a military conflict?"
All right, so here's what I'm thinking. We've got seniors. We call
They're
them...
so old, and they're so I can't stress how aged they are.
Okay. We call it Animorphs the Golden Years.
Y-
We'll work on the title.
yes, animal morphing men.
Aniatrix. No,
We'll come back to that.
we'll come back to the title. We'll do title at the end. All right, so again, so the slug's goal was originally what, to conquer the world? They just eat
Yeah,
the...
they just wanted to make everybody a slug person and then consume the natural resources, pretty standard.
Right, no free will. Okay, so are the slugs back?
Maybe the slugs never left.
Ooh. They've been underground,
Hibernating like slugs do.
as they do. Okay. Okay. So we've got Slugman. And
Sluggers.
are the slugs old? Or do they have to fight young?
I
No.
feel like everyone's got to be old because it wouldn't be fair otherwise.
Well, I mean, but that could be interesting though. You know, it makes our heroes the
They
underdogs.
got to fight young people.
Young people.
What if the slugs are young, but they just keep taking over old people because there's no one left?
We're saying the entire Earth is only old people.
It's so old.
No one's
Like,
had a
you're
baby in
born-
quite a long time.
You're born and you're 40. Like
Oh,
it's something
you're born
wrong
old.
with the world.
So something's very wrong with humanity, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, everyone is so old and they have like mouth crust
Oh, I don't like that word at all.
and they and they have like I mean it's the future, so they have like really fancy walkers, but they still have walkers.
Right, right. And here's what I'm thinking. We need an extra hook. So I'm thinking maybe their powers have maybe evolved. Maybe they can now anamorph into other people. Maybe they can anamorph two people into the same thing. Maybe they can
Oh,
fusion anamorph into like tigers
yeah.
with wings. Maybe they can anamorph into just like a stove.
Where they can like touch a butterfly and then touch a tiger and become like a butter tiger.
A butter tiger or a tiger fly, whichever you prefer.
We're gonna stick with butter tiger.
It's a soft, buttery tiger. Okay.
Yeah, like a very malleable tiger that can fit in crevices, and I mean goes pretty good, pretty ferocious.
And here's what I imagine the butter tiger looks like. It's a butterfly with a tiger's head, but the tiger's head is regular tiger head sized.
Yeah, it's very very impractical.
This butterfly looks just the most ridiculous. Okay, I like this.
So we drop the Anna and we just make them
Morphs. Morphs.
So it's just morphs.
But it's still animals. They're just hybrid horror monsters.
Yeah, like a half stove, half grizzly bear.
Oh, if we're allowing appliances, then we're just off. We're just going all full hog, which I'm into. I'm totally into
Yeah,
that.
I mean they can become a full hog.
Fair. That is fair. Not
I,
the half hog.
yeah, maybe they could, but maybe they probably can't get back.
Yes.
Now, if they die as a stove, do they die for real?
That is the question. That is the question we all want to know. If they die as an animal, do they die for real in the old show?
Yeah, big time.
Big time dead. Okay.
So, what do the brain slugs want, I guess?
The brain slugs just want their kids back.
Oh, okay. We can make this like a meta thing about millennials now. So
Ooh.
here's what happened: the original brain slug army and the original Animorphs just got old, and while they got old, they were like, "Look, like neither of us is leaving.
Let's just learn
Like,
to live in
let's
peace.
just all share the rice pudding."
Uh-huh.
What are we fighting over? I'm pretty sure it was the rice pudding.
War, what is it good for?
Yes, and rice pudding is great for everything, and they just share the rice pudding that they have with each other.
Okay.
The brain slugs and the humans settle the rice pudding conflict.
Yeah, makes sense.
But the young brain slugs are like, no, grandpa brain slug in a young man's body that's now become old in both ways. Like we want to conquer. The young brain slugs are basically brain slug millennials.
Brain sluggennials.
Yes. And so what happens is the old brain slugs and the so old humans that are morphers,
The morphs.
they're very old, Scott.
Okay.
Um, the old brain slugs take over old animals and bring them to the old morphers so that they can touch them and get the morph.
Get that morph?
And they team up to fight the young brain slugs.
What happens
that
if an
are
animorph
young.
touches a brain slug? Can an animorph become a brain slug?
I think it makes a black hole.
Oh shit.
Or it doesn't. I don't know.
Well, is that how the series ended? Did you ever finish the series?
No, I think the series continued through the 2000s.
It ended in 2001, according to first paragraph Wikipedia.
Oh, then definitely no.
That's only 5. How many books did they have?
It was like 50.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, dude.
Hold up. Hold up. I'm not allowed to go past first paragraph. 54 books. There it is. First paragraph. Okay, so 54 books in only 5 years?
Yeah, they were ghostwritten mostly.
10 books a year. Holy frig. I mean, that's Scholastic for you, right?
That is Scholastic.
Scholastic probably has, sweatshops full of tiny children typing all their books.
Oh, the smallest, and they're young.
Well, yeah, they're tiny
They're
children.
young children. They're not old.
No. That's kind of that's implied in the word child.
Yes. Well, no, because in our new Earth, children are babies. Man babies are born at 40.
Yeah, I'm talking about real world Scholastic.
Oh, real world. Yeah, I mean, okay.
Scholastic doesn't. I was just talking about how they managed to put out 10 books a year of this series. Are you saying there's a Scholastic publishing in our new reboot?
This is what I'm trying to get across. As long as everybody there is old, then yes.
Okay, sure. Everyone is old on this new Earth.
I cannot stress enough that they have to be aged.
So that could be the conflict. That's part of the conflict we're dealing with. So, but and tell me, new people are still being born, correct? They're just being born old?
Yeah, they're so old, Scott.
Okay. So people are being born old. Nobody knows why. The morphs find out it's something to do with these new millennial slugs, maybe?
Yeah, the new millennial brain slugs are like, they're like reversing the DNA and making them young.
Okay. Now, do these morphs got kids?
Well, old kids, yeah.
Oh, shoot. Okay. So they have old kids.
They're so old, Scott.
So their kids were born after this crisis happened, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone is old. There's no young people.
So Frank, just let me be sure I understand this. Are there any young people?
Literally 0 people under the age of 60 are on this world. But it's like a fast aging disease.
Ugh.
So like your dad is 62, you're 60.
But you're actually only like 4, but you're 60.
Actually 4.
Now,
Yeah.
now tell me, do these
You
old
pop right out craving those biscuits and gravy.
are these old people, are they also mentally aged?
Oh yeah, you're born and you're like, when's Matlock on?
Okay, okay. All right, so
Otherwise it'd be weird.
is book 1 a book or a movie? Are we starting with a movie or a book?
I feel like we gotta start with a movie because who reads books? We
That's
gotta trick
true.
people into reading books.
True. Okay. So book 1 is movie. Animorphs.
Book 1. The first movie is called Morphs, Book 1.
It's called Animorphs: The Golden Years. Morphs, Book 1.
Yeah, Morphs, Book 1. I like that.
Okay.
And so they buy the device we're making that's called the PlayStation Portable.
Yes. That
They
has not been
buy
made
it.
and does not exist yet.
It does not. Not in this old world, Scott.
Not in the old world. Well, not even in our world. The
Not
young
even in
world.
our world.
The young Earth, if you will.
So they buy the device and they turn it on.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately, there can't be any human interaction, I think.
Mhm.
It just starts playing the movie right then.
Oh, shoot. So this is not a theatrical release. This is a PlayStation Portable release. Patent pending.
They have to buy our device to even know what it is.
Shoot. Now I'm concerned. We both saw what happened to the television to the show Powers on PlayStation, the PlayStation exclusive TV show. I'm concerned that we won't get a good foothold in a wide enough reach. Now I said foothole, and what I meant was foothold.
Either. I mean, I would take either.
Mm-hmm.
Like a hole for the foot to get trapped in.
Yes.
So that even though they didn't really choose, like it's happening.
Correct. So
how do we
what if it's a
make
second screen
people
experience?
choose?
Second screen experience.
Oh, this is an app.
We put it on the theater
are hot.
screen. We put it on the theater screen, but in order to even go to you got to pay that extra for them to issue you your PlayStation Portable to get that enhanced experience.
Like the 3D glasses.
You could watch it. Yeah, exactly. You could watch it without, but if you do, you're a chump.
And you actually don't even see the movie.
Oh, you got to see something.
If you're not holding a PlayStation Portable in that theater, what is on screen is just a big block of text summarizing the plot. And
then in this, it's just a text that says, and now in this scene, old Hawk Tobias now here
turns into such an old man. He's so old and he's got like crinkly skin and you can hear his bones go like
And here's the other thing.
And the point is that he is aged.
The other thing is Tobias he's not quite stuck anymore. Now he's still stuck, but now he's an opposite. He's a counter he's something that means opposite. And what that means is he is always Hawk, but if he touches a human, he can morph into that human for 2 hours.
Yes. He's a prom. He's a haprom.
Is that Animorphs backwards?
It is morph backwards.
Morph
yes.
backwards. Haprom. Hapromina? Haprom.
Well, we're dropping the Annie, aren't we?
Yeah, we are dropping the Annie.
Haprama.
But I think he's still stuck as an animal, as an Animorph. I don't think he can turn into appliances.
Oh, he's just he's not a golden age morpher. He's a straight Animorph.
Yeah, you have to.
I like it.
Your base form has to be human in order to make the jump into other things.
Just to make things clear, Tobias retains his status as an OG Animorph, but he is so old.
Yes, everyone is very old.
He's old.
Okay.
Old and gross.
Mm-hmm. And okay, so they gotta fight millennial slugs. Now, have they teamed up with old slugs?
I think they have to have, because the young slugs are just too strong and young and fit.
So you're telling me there's young people?
No, there's young slugs that infect old people and make them into young people while the slugs are in them.
So anybody who's young, we immediately know you are a young slug.
Yeah, like there's no hiding. Like
Okay.
any person that's under the age of 60 is a young slug.
Okay. Have young slugs taken over at this point then? Because they've got a lot of physical advantages.
Well, there's so few of them, but they're just so much stronger and better and faster than these old crime fighters.
Mm-hmm. Do the
These aged crime fighters.
Do the young slugs live in like a Big Brother house?
Oh boy, I feel like they have to now.
Yep.
Like a hot tub and
So
like
randomly
a disco
in the
ball.
movie we cut to like confessional style videos of the young slugs talking about their plans.
Yeah.
That
And
sounds
each
great.
other. Because the hormones.
Oh yeah, bad mouthing each other.
That's one thing that the old citizens of old aged infirm Earth don't have to worry about is the hormones.
That is true, dude.
They just sit down and they solve problems.
Man, that's gonna be so refreshing.
Now I feel like here's a problem though, is that the young hip teens
Uh-huh.
gonna be that are gonna be watching's not right because there's also some reading and then there's also some mini games.
They're gonna be experiencing, consuming, if you will.
They're gonna be consuming Animorphs Golden Years Book 1 and the rest of the series, the rest of the Animorphs Golden Years series. They're going to innately want the old people to fail.
True.
So how do we make the young people evil and make the old people in any way likable? Because they will be old. And that's going against them.
Here's who we get. You get your Clooney, your Brad Pitt, your George
Costanza.
You got your Jerry Seinfeld. We're basically taking every wash-up actor. You know how washed up Brad Pitt is right now?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen him in a lot, many things, not many things.
I think we could get Will Smith.
Yeah, he can't be doing much.
And that's how we get
I saw
him.
Focus. I saw that movie Focus.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And that was the thing you saw? You have nothing more to add?
I watched it, yeah.
Okay. What a glowing review from Frank's Movie Corner. All right, I like where we're going with this. I think this has a lot of potential. Okay, so Frank, do we got to find more beefy boys for the bad guys?
You know, I feel like I don't want to become repetitive. I don't want to pigeonhole us. I feel like we need more beefy boys.
I don't want to become the beefy boy network.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. You don't watch the Food Network. You don't flick to the Food Network and then say, "Man, I'm sick of all these food shows." We're gonna make that people are gonna flick to the NBC CW on their Omni screens, and they're gonna say, "There are my beefy boys."
There they are.
This is why I come to this show, is just the glistening men.
Oh, God. Now, to be fair, we've also got to have young, attractive ladies.
Yeah.
But the problem is I can't talk about attractive ladies in the way I can talk about beefy boys without sounding weird,
That
Frank.
would be weird or a lawsuit.
A lawsuit, correct. So here's who we can get. I'm thinking the Mean Girls. We get all four of the Mean Girls back.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsay Lohan, maybe.
I can't imagine she's got a lot going on.
Yeah, but I don't know that I want her on my show. You know
what
what?
else? We got to call back to the 90s crowd that's going to be coming back for this.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking the cast of Full House.
Ooh,
the cast
yes.
of Mary-Kate and Ashley the show. Whoever those people are.
Yes, Mary-Kate and Ashley detectives. Oh boy, Frank.
What else? What else was there?
Amanda Bynes.
Yep, she's not even around.
She's in it. We get Allison Mack. Whoever played Allison. Nope, that's the actress's name.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yep, we got her. But who played? Wasn't there a show? Alex Mack.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got whoever that was.
little bit before my time, I think.
We get whoever that was. That was 90s Nick. We'll get
So we just get. I mean, so here's something we haven't really discussed.
mhm,
All of these people are advanced beyond their teen years
mhm.
by now. It's been what has it been? 20 years.
Yeah, but that's the show. That's
Yep.
the setting.
Oh, they're just comparatively young because everyone else is so old.
I mean, yeah,
So old.
that's the thing though. Yeah, that's a solid point though. These kids from the 90s are not yet 60.
And they have these hit teen arguments about like how come everything around here is a buffet or a pharmacy?
Hi-yo.
How come I can't get anything after 4 p.m.?
That is a solid point.
And they're just sick of the
Beef.
age.
Age.
Well, they want the beef.
Where is it?
Well, the beefy boys.
That's something someone will ask though. That was a joke from the 90s. Where's the beef, right?
Yeah, we can do that. Where is that, the beef?
Where is that the beef?
Yeah, I mean, I think the actual phrase has been trademarked.
Mhm.
So it's where is that question mark parentheses the beef.
They whisper it. Where is that?
It's like a code phrase
Beef.
for how to tell if you're a young brain slug person or not.
Oh, the young brain slugs won't know that beef thing, but also, but I thought you could tell who the young brain slug is just by looking at them because they'll look young.
I mean, there's still got to be a password, I think.
We do love our passwords. Okay, okay. All right, so is this present day or are we talking future?
I think it's got to be like,
Well, it's got so if the original took place in the 90s and they were only teens then, we got to be at least 2040s so that they're
yeah,
in their 50s or
that's
60s.
enough time for the agitude virus to get all up in everyone's DNA.
The agitude virus and also hover walkers will be invented by then.
Yeah, so they'll actually have you ever seen Static Shock?
Sure have.
It'll be like that. Everybody, they're gonna be so old, but they'll get around by standing still, which old people are good at, on moving, floating platforms.
Okay, and there's also going to be a lot of like lasers.
I feel like it's got to be everywhere. That was assumed when we said 2040.
Yeah. The age of the laser.
Everything is laser. You shoot a laser at the oven to make food. You shoot a laser at the TV to turn it on. You shoot a laser at your friend to say hello.
Pew,
You shoot a laser at your hover walker to get your old body from place to place.
pew, pew, pew. Okay, I love
You
this.
shoot a laser at the pharmacy to get your medicine.
And we've stopped. Every year is something, and this is the year of the laser. Nah, everything's the year of the laser. No, that's
We
bad.
theme it.
No, that's bad. Kill it.
It's the century of the laser.
Nah, kill it.
Kill it all.
I mean, keep lasers.
Scrapping it.
Keep lasers, but kill
So-
the other thing.
So I feel like we got to iron out some of the formatting.
We got so story 1, book. I mean, movie. Story 2,
Movie 1 is Golden Years Book 1.
and then Golden Years book 2 is 3 miniature books.
That you read in reverse order?
Not yet.
How about it's 3 miniature books. One is called Animals, one is called Humans, and one is called Old.
Okay, I like it. Story
You can read them in
3.
any order.
Story 3 is a full television series.
At least 3 seasons.
At least 3 seasons. And then we go
45-minute episodes, the whole deal.
45-minute episodes. And then every third episode is a full movie.
Is a full 2-hour picture.
It's shown only in theaters.
And instead of season 2 of the TV show, it'll be a series of themed like mobile games.
Oh yes. And then half of season 3 will just be like spoken word poetry.
Now, do we front load that, or do we do every other episode of season 3?
I say we front load it. We make people really question, like, is this the
Listen
new?
to like
Is this the
10
new
hours
thing? Yeah,
of
just
audio.
everyone's just like, is this where this is really what they're doing? Wow, 6 episodes in, they're still doing this. This must be the thing. And then finally, they get back to the morpho olds that they love and they love so much.
Old men and women that they've come to love watching.
Just cannot stress enough
I
that they
cannot
are old.
stress. They are so old. They are advanced in experience and wisdom and years more than the other two.
And also death. They're pretty close.
Age.
Oh my god, I'm dying. Like an old. Okay. The olds.
Mm-hmm.
I like what we've got here.
The Olds is the concurrently running webcomic underneath all of this.
All right, so Frank, I have not seen this. I don't know any of the characters. I need you to tell me who's coming back.
Oh, who's returning?
Because
Well,
they're the
first of
olds.
all-
They're not all new characters.
First of all, you've got Jake and Marco.
Jake and Marco.
Jake's kind of, sort of the leader-ish.
Okay. Is he the book
He's kind
one?
of the Red Ranger of the outfit.
All right. He's the lizard kid in book one?
Probably, yeah.
I vaguely remember that.
Maybe.
Okay. Excellent.
So Marco and Tobias were the other two dudes. Now Tobias is permanently a hawk. So Marco's the only other dude. He's just kind of around to bounce it all out.
Here's a question. Is the time limit at which they can be morphed, is that like per long rest? Or is that just like, I can only be an animal for 2 hours, and once I change back to a human, then I can jump back to an animal for 2 hours?
It is the second one.
Okay,
They
good.
can only be an animal for 2 hours at a time.
Okay.
But then once they turn back to human, they like,
The clock resets.
yeah.
All right. That's fine. I'll keep that. I'm fine with that.
So there's Jake, Marco, the human men, and
Mhm.
Tobias, the human red-tailed hawk.
Now,
man.
so did each of them have a signature animal that was their thing?
Not really, because there was also two more. There's Cassie and Rachel.
Ooh.
Now, Rachel and Tobias had a little bit of a thing, but now he's a hawk.
Oh, bummer for Rachel.
Yeah, it kind of turns that sideways. But Cassie's parents were veterinarians.
Ooh, veterinarians.
So she got all kinds of house animals, little tiny baby animals.
Jeez.
Animals that are not old.
Did the age of the animal matter?
Not in the original series. I feel like in our series, your animal is as old as you.
Okay, so I say everybody gets kind of like a signature. They've got like a go-to.
Yeah.
Cassie's the vet family.
Mm-hmm.
She's definitely got a ton of hybrids that she can become.
Yeah, she can become a cat dog.
She's got like snake horse.
Snake horse? Oh my god, that would be terrifying.
Yeah.
But an old snake horse.
Old snake
with, like,
horse. That was her
big
nickname.
jowls.
That's her code name. Old snake horse.
Old snake horse.
And you got Jake. Jake's gonna be like a pig lizard.
Or a pig lizard.
Or like I don't know, maybe
What parts are what? Is it like an alligator with a piggy tail?
Ooh, I'm thinking no.
So somebody earlier, I forget which one of us, said bear stove.
I like bear
And
stove for sure.
I like that a lot.
I like bear stove, and I like maybe you've got like a toaster raccoon.
Mm-hmm. He keeps the bread in his old body and he keeps it warm.
Yep. And then you of course have, hamster motorcycle.
Now, I'm afraid of moving vehicles because what happens when you run over like a nail?
Yeah, what happens when you get
morph
shot?
back into a human and there's like a nail in your liver?
Well, what happens when dog Jake steps on a nail.
It hurts.
Yeah, I think it just hurts.
Okay, so hamster cycle.
Hamster cycle's pretty cool. Are we allowed to do vehicles? Are they somehow restricted to only like kitchen appliances?
Now, I guess that's really up to legal.
That's okay. So, we'll throw it out there, but they don't have to take it. What about I'm just looking around my kitchen here. I'm thinking um we've got like I'm thinking
Some kind of spatula centipede, maybe?
spatula centipede sounds like the worst thing ever. I'm into it. I'm thinking maybe teapot wombat. We've got um we've got hand mixer guinea pig. You've got your terrier sink.
Yep. And now, does somebody else need to transform into plumbing equipment to get that going?
Ooh, so we
Is
got
is it a wombo combo?
a wombo combo. I think we probably need some doubles. Also we've got we've got a refrigerator parrot.
What about like a very old tiger?
Yep. And then there's also just a very old tiger.
I do want to clarify that even the appliances will be old.
Yes, they're like broken down, like not they work, but
Like they're rusty.
You got to
and they're
smack them
from,
around
like,
to get them to work
80s.
right.
You got to really like knock on that volume knob on that old tube television.
Yeah, dude, tube
But
television.
it's a person too. It's
Yeah.
an old person.
We're looking at like tube television. What's an animal? I've run out of animals. I've said all the animals that I can
tube
think of.
Television elephant with the TV in his side, but it's an old elephant. It's everything that we were talking about is old.
Okay. All right. Yeah, man, I dig this. I think this show's gonna be big.
Well, you say show,
Well, I say show, but
but it's
you
a
know,
multi-platform consumer experience.
that is correct. Now, what's the entire series title? Is that what
I
did,
think the title is just like
what did we say it
I mean,
was?
it can't just be Animorphs. So I'm thinking, so they transform.
Morphs, Animorphs, the Golden Years.
So like Transformers.
Nope. That's been done.
Transmorphers.
No. Oh, Transmorphers is probably allowed. We could be Transmorphers.
What about old people who become not people? That's not very good.
I think there's a way to simplify what you're trying to say into fewer words.
Old morphing.
Old morphing's great.
Old morphers.
Old morphers is also great.
All one word.
Old morphers.
And then the subtitle in parentheses, just so everyone's clear. They are old.
Yeah, we call it like septuagenarians, the morphers story.
I don't want to get too hoity-toity.
Okay. No hoity-toity. Well, we can include that in the title. Not too hoity-toity, though.
Yeah, subcolon.
Oh, a subcolon.
Subcolon.
That's not a thing.
It's a sideways colon where you would put like the underscore.
We've invented a whole new punctuation.
Subcolon, they're old. Old morphers.
Oldies.
Golden oldies.
Ooh. Animorphs, the Golden Years, subcolon, old morphers, subcolon, regular morphs. Nope, not regular.
No, normal colon, golden oldies.
Normal colon, they're old.
I think I'd say they are old.
That's the tagline.
Yeah. They're old, like in the commercial.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Perfect. All right, I think we should put a bow on this.
Yep, I think that. Read me that title one more time.
Oh God. All right. I think I got this. Animorphs, the Golden Years, subcolon, old morphers, regular colon, golden oldies, colon, they are old.
Oh, yes. All right. So that a PlayStation Portable experience
Patent
that you
pending.
don't require PlayStation Portable to use, but we would very much like you to have one.
Yes, exactly right. Oh, I just dropped my Dragon Ball.
I don't want to be involved in that.
All right, I love this. I think that's a great. I think we've done it again, Frank.
I think this is the first project that I'm truly proud of.
Oh well, that's insulting,
just so
but okay.
Everyone's clear, nothing is young in this show, in this movie, show, book, mini game, spoken word poetry, video game.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. I love it. All right, well, with that, thanks everyone for listening. Please like us on iTunes, give us a rating, subscribe if you want. We'd love a subscription. Tell your friends. Until next time, I'm Scott.
And I'm Frank.
And what's our password next week, Frank?
Our password next week is, do you have those spicy kind of nuts with the green, what are those called?
I love that. I honestly expected rice pudding, and I was pleasantly surprised. That was well done.